Big news for drivers tonight. The section of the freeway is going to be shut down starting this evening. Coming up on Eyewitness News, we'll tell you everything you need to know to avoid the traffic troubles it will cause.
And new information tonight in the search for the body of murder suspect Bill Rundle's dead mother. And as ghouls and goblins get ready for Halloween, see why people aren't spending as much on costumes and decorations this year.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the news leader.
In just about 4 hours, this part of US 95 will be shut down completely. It's all part of the massive US 95 widening project. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Gonzalez in for Paula Francis.
Tonight's closure is the latest step in that widening project on US 95. This map shows just where the freeway will be closed. The shutdown at Valley View will start at 10 o'clock tonight. It's scheduled to last through the weekend. Closure is one more part of the massive project that will widen US 95 from the Spaghetti Bowl to the Rainbow Curve. Channel 8 Eyewitness News is live. Erik Levine is at Valley View and 95 with the latest. Erik.
Well, Gary, we've been talking about the amount of traffic along US 95 in the Northwest for years and the massive construction project that's underway here. Unfortunately, this project does require some necessary closures. For drivers who depend on US 95, this weekend's closure is going to be a problem.
Well, then I guess I'll have to take the detour, but it won't be convenient. It's a real big inconvenience.
I don't be too bad of a pain. It'd just be, an extra 15-20 minutes on my commute.
The Nevada Department of Transportation is shutting down Valley View and US 95 in both directions while the old Valley View Bridge is removed. The road closures will start tonight at 10 and will reopen Sunday at 6 in the evening.
Temporary bridge will remain up while we construct the new bridge over Valley View. Now, as soon as this bridge is demolished, we'll begin construction, and hopefully we'll have that completed by February of 2003.
New bridges over US 95 are needed to handle the highway's expansion to 10 lanes in the Northwest, a move highway officials say is desperately needed.
We've got a great population explosion in the northwest of Las Vegas, and this is giving us the way to get the traffic from the northwest into town.
Still, it will take plenty of time and money. The final expansion won't be ready until 2006 and will cost $500 million. And Gary, Polly, how busy is this stretch of road? Well, they estimate 200,000 cars a day pass through here, and that number is only expected to grow as the valley grows as well. Erik Levine, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, live.
Thank you, Erik. Any chance that that road will reopen before Sunday at 6?
Actually, Gary, there is a chance. We asked Bob McKenzie about that. He said they're hoping to get it done as early as Sunday morning, but regardless of how it turns out, at the latest Sunday at 6, it will be reopened at 6 in the evening. Okay, ready for Monday's commute. Thanks, Erik. This closure and bridge demolition is just one step in that widening project of US 95. The Decatur Bridge is the next one on the list. To finish the Valley View and Decatur construction and reconstruction will take about 14 months. The Jones Boulevard Exchange will be next. The final phase will be the reconstruction of the Rainbow Curve and the Summerlin Parkway interchange.
So in light of the closure, getting around will be the key for people living in the Northwest and Summerlin. Victor Woodall is live in Chopper 8 with a look at some alternate routes.
Well, Polly, both directions, east and westbound, will be affected on 95 near Valley View. Take a live look now from Chopper 8. Now, keep in mind, westbound 95 will be forced off the freeway at the Valley View exit. Eastbound 95 traffic will exit at Valley View, then go to Charleston. Valley View people will be crowded with traffic, so keep in mind, NDOT recommends drivers get off at either Decatur or Rancho first. Also, we've been looking at the traffic. So far, so good. Hopefully that will continue on into the weekend. If you want more information on the closures, you can log on to our website at KLASTV.com. For now, from Chopper 8, I'm Victor Woodall, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Victor, maybe folks are already avoiding the area.
Yeah, I think we've been warning them all day, and I think they're preparing for the closure this evening.
All right, thanks, Victor. Well, at the corner of Paradise and Sahara, you can see the progress made on another project designed to improve valley traffic. Under construction is a station for the Monorail project. It's one of the 5 stations that will be built for the project. The Monorail is on schedule and under budget at this time. Soon the pedestrian bridge that crosses Paradise and Sahara will be demolished to make room for the station.
The district attorney is considering charges in the apparent death of a woman whose body hasn't even been found. William Rundle is in custody, charged with the murder of his wife, Shirley. Now police want to know what happened to his mother, who hasn't been seen since 1996. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Cindy Cesare looks at how the DA would be able to prosecute the case even without a body.
William Rundle is already suspected of killing his wife, Shirley. When he was captured at this Days Inn in Orlando, Florida, Rundle told Metro detectives that his mother, 87-year-old Willa, died in 1996, and his wife, Shirley, disposed of the body. But according to this criminal complaint, Rundle was using money from his mother's Social Security checks to pay his personal bills. He also told friends that his mother was traveling in Europe, even though she was very ill. That has authorities suspicious, but there is no physical evidence of a crime. If more evidence is found, prosecutors could file charges, even if authorities don't find Willa Rundle.
What you have to be able to do is convince a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that the body died by homicidal means. And you can either have a coroner's report, or you can have circumstantial or direct evidence that can establish that.
Clark County prosecutors have had similar cases. In 2001, 48-year-old Brookie West was convicted of killing her mother, Christine Smith. Smith's body was found in a Las Vegas storage facility, badly decomposed.
You don't have to have a body. In the West case that we prosecuted successfully a couple years ago, we had a body in a garbage can, but it had been there for several years and was so decomposed that the coroner couldn't give an opinion as to the cause of death.
In the meantime, detectives are still hoping to find Willa Rundle's body and any clues as to how she may have died. Cindy Cesare, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
William Rundle remains in federal custody in Florida. If he doesn't fight extradition, he could be back here in the next week or two to face charges that he murdered his wife. The coroner's office has confirmed that a man who shot and killed his wife in a church parking lot last weekend did kill himself. After 57-year-old Donald Robinson killed his estranged wife, 58-year-old Denise Williams, he was shot by an off-duty police officer as he sped away from the scene. He was found dead in his car a few blocks away. Although Robinson was wounded by the officer, the coroner ruled the shot that killed him was self-inflicted.
Police have identified the man found in the desert near Apex earlier this month. Police say that J.R. Smith was last seen by his family on the 1st of October. His body was found just a few days later near I-15 in Apex. Smith was apparently stabbed to death. Well, police say two men critically hurt in an accident on US 95 may have fared better if they'd been wearing seat belts. Nevada Highway Patrol troopers say the men were driving southbound on US 95 this afternoon when their car skidded off the freeway and rolled onto the shoulder. Both the driver and passenger were thrown from the car. They were taken to UMC where they are both listed in critical condition. Troopers say neither man was wearing a seatbelt, but if they were, they would have probably only received minor injuries.
Paying for candy and costumes for fun on Halloween can be expensive. Tonight, see why more and more Valley families are cutting back this year.
Plus, a look inside one of the country's most important weapons. A very rare view of the B-2 bomber is coming up.
First, though, Kevin Jannison is here with our first look at neighborhood weather. Kevin.
Gary and Polly, we managed to get rid of the clouds today. They actually vacated last night. We'll let you know if all this sunshine is in store for your weekend. Plus, we'll show you how warm it was in your neighborhood today and what we expect over the next 7 days. That and more just a few minutes away. Eyewitness News will be right back.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6 with Paula Francis, Gary Waddell, neighborhood weather with Kevin Jannison, and sports with Chris Matthews. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the news leader.
It's that time of year again, time for ghouls, ghosts, and goblins. But according to a national survey, one of the biggest fears this year is the sagging economy that will keep Halloween spending down. Eyewitness News is live. Renata Troiani joins us with that story. Renata.
Polly, Halloween is always a big time for retailers, and although people nationally say they're going to be spending less money, here in the Valley we found a mixed bag of treats.
To buy a costume itself is so expensive.
Jill Bradley is spending about $50 less on her Halloween costume this year.
I think after 9/11, everybody's been more frugal on everything.
According to a national survey, a weak economy and overall safety fears are scaring consumers into keeping their treats to themselves.
They cost like $24 for something like this. We sell it for $7 and $9.
They're noticing the trend here at Savor's thrift store. They sell new costumes, but more people are buying used.
Not only are people buying used to save money, they're actually getting more creative.
They go to like the vintage department, or they go to the evening wear and things like that. And, you know, they buy vintage men's pants and the whole suits and stuff like that. So, you know, they're going back to the basics.
Gangster style look.
Here at the Halloween Experience at the Boulevard Mall, workers say they're not seeing the decrease.
I think that people want to have fun on Halloween, and they'll spend the money to do it.
I love Halloween, so I spend a lot of money on decorations and costumes and, yeah, everything.
It's my Christmas equivalent.
Jeremy Dozier is spending close to $100 on his rainbow fairy costume.
I got wings, I got glitter, pretty eyelashes, nice magical wand, and I'm going to spread fairy dust throughout the whole world.
Many of these shoppers say things may not be right with the world, and that's exactly why they'll shell out the cash this Halloween. They want to escape reality.
Now, according to that national survey, when people do spend money, they'll be spending the most money on candy, followed by costumes, and then finally spooky home decor. Renata Troiani, Channel 8 Eyewitness News, live.
Now I'm in the spirit. All right, thanks, Renata.
Clark County is putting a stop to more billboards along 215. County Commission is not accepting applications for new billboards along the roadway. Moratorium will stay in place until the county comes up with an ordinance to lengthen the distance between the billboards along that stretch of roadway.
Less clutter.
It's a big part of the country's arsenal. Tonight, a rare look inside a B-2 stealth bomber. That's coming up next on Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Plus, in tonight's Channel 8 Medical Breakthroughs, a new way to make transplants easier.
And later in this hour, a man who killed hundreds of cats was sentenced to probation this week. Tonight, he's working with animals again. We're live with the story. The B-2 bomber is the Air Force's most revered plane because it can fly into enemy airspace and drop powerful bombs almost without a trace. Today, 4 of them are here in southern Nevada. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter John Summers takes us on board for a rare look at this incredible airplane.
These bombs are a number of missions that this aircraft has flown in combat.
The Spirit of Mississippi is the first B-2 stealth bomber to ever fight a war. It's also flown the most missions. Lieutenant Colonel Scott Vanderdam has been on his fair share of those flights.
I was flying when one of our aircraft was shot down over the Adriatic Sea, and I was about to ingress and strike targets. And it makes you think when another one of your comrades is now on the ground.
4 of the nation's 21 B-2 bombers are at Nellis Air Force Base for red flag training. It's the closest combat experience these pilots can get without actually going to war. Red Flag is the only training of its kind and is crucial to the military's success.
We're training with the combat air forces, and we're using the airspace north of Las Vegas to do that. We really appreciate the community support to do that.
Red Flag is also a chance for Air Force personnel from other bases to see the variety of aircraft used in war, like the B-2. The $2 million plane is equipped with the latest technology to keep pilots safe.
Of course, it doesn't matter how sophisticated the plane is. When you're flying for 40 hours, you've got plenty of time to think about what's about to happen.
I think about why do I do what I do to protect and to allow the United States to exist as it does, to have the freedoms we do. And then I think about my comrades in arms, and I think about the folks that I have back at home.
Because as much as he loves flying, in the end, Vanderdam knows what he does in this plane can change the world forever. John Summers, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
95 planes in total are at Nellis as part of Red Flag training. More than 400,000 people have participated in the program since it began back in 1975.
According to the National Kidney Foundation, nearly 20 million adult Americans have chronic kidney disease and another 20 million are at risk for developing it. When the disease becomes severe enough, kidney dialysis or a kidney transplant is necessary for survival. Tonight, Paula Francis shows us how one of those options just got better.
Tracy Brum is surrounded by love. Her husband, her father, and a very special gift from her mom.
I was glad that it was my mom who's a match because
our love is so strong.
Tracy has lupus. When the disease caused her kidneys to fail, her mother gave Tracy one of hers.
We gave her life once and we did it again.
Transplants give patients a chance at life, but drugs to prevent rejection come with a list of complications.
There are risks of infection and increased cardiovascular risks and infectious disease risks and cancer risks.
Dr. Samuel Strober says eliminating those drugs could be possible with a new technique after transplantation. Patients receive several small doses of radiation. Then stem cells from the donor are injected into the recipient.
That mixing of the donor immune cells and blood cells with the host immune cells and blood cells is critical for the establishment of tolerance.
New cells are produced, and the recipient's body recognizes donor cells as friend, not foe.
They can have their normal lifestyle, they can have their kidney transplant, and they don't have to pay for it by the risks of infections and heart disease.
Tracy is one of only 4 patients treated with this technique so far.
I've been drug-free since January, and so now I feel like I'm alive again.
As a thank you to her mom, Tracy gave her a reminder she can keep close to her heart. Paula Francis, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
Dr. Strober says mixing the donor stem cells with the patient's cells is the key to keeping patients off anti-rejection drugs. He also says this technique could potentially be applied to any organ transplant. For more information, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope. Make sure to write kidney transplant on the front. You can also find information on our website. Well, the drug Viagra revolutionized the love lives of millions of Americans, but the drug didn't work for every man. There is a new drug to help those men who couldn't take Viagra. It's called Levine. Doctors say the drug has fewer side effects than Viagra and is more effective for some patients.
So it acts faster, more soluble, lasts longer, is more potent, you need less drug, it's more selective, so it has less side effects, and we expect it to be a wonderful drug.
Levine is just one of a series of new drugs being developed as alternatives to Viagra. And that's tonight's Channel 8 Medical Breakthroughs.
Very good. Thanks, Polly. Kevin is here. Weekend weather forecast. This is a good one.
Going to be a labor of love.
Oh, yeah. That's
keep that segue going. Yeah, you know, it's just a gorgeous Friday night out there. Hope you have some plans outdoors all weekend long. How about this view from our camera on top of the Stratosphere Tower? Gotta love the valley at night and especially at sunset. You know, sunset tonight was about 6 o'clock. October is that type of transitional month. When we begin the month of October, we have about 12 hours of daylight, give or take. When we end it, we're down to about 10.5 hours of daylight. So we lose an hour and a half of daylight from the 1st to the 31st of October. Let's start with real-time neighborhood weather. We'll go out to Pahrump. We're at 68 degrees. Very quiet southeasterly breeze at 2 miles per hour. Near Charleston and Sloan on the east side of town, it is 77. Up near Elkhorn and Buffalo, it is 72 and calm. That's the far northwestern part of the valley. And near Pecos and Warm Springs and Green Valley, 70 degrees, 33% relative humidity. Still some lingering moisture from yesterday's sprinkles and light rain showers around town. Other temperatures in neighborhoods across the valley, 68 at the Zoo on North Rancho, 77 at Cunningham Elementary near Flamingo and Boulder Highway, and it is 75 up near Buffalo and Cheyenne. The mountains at 43, Alamo's at 68, Beatty comes in at 70, while Caliente has 65 degrees. Highs today as warm as 88 near Windmill and Paradise, and 86 up in the northeast part of the valley. And then as you go westward across town, mid to upper 70s, 60 on the mountain, 83 in Pahrump, Boulder City a degree warmer, and as you might expect, Death Valley led the way, 1 degree warmer than Prim. At McCarran today, the top temperature was 80, a degree above normal, but we were right there where we should be for the middle of October. Air quality in the good category. Sunset, as we mentioned, right at 6 o'clock for tomorrow. Here's the snow that fell in parts of Minnesota, Wisconsin, the UP of Michigan. Goes south and it's cold rain, and where the air masses are colliding, some pretty strong thunderstorms in parts of Missouri. In fact, right across the mid-Mississippi Valley. Other strong thunderstorms producing heavy rain north of Dallas into Oklahoma and Arkansas, and very intense thunderstorms in parts of western Texas between the Midland-Odessa area and Lubbock. Meanwhile, here at home, the system from yesterday moves on out. Now, we, of course, are right about here. We've got these clouds trying to move in from California, and if you watch them very closely, see how these clouds are sort of thinning and breaking apart and dissipating as they're banging into the area of high pressure that's protecting us. We think that's going to happen with just about all of these clouds. There might be 1 or 2 scragglers that are able to work their way in, but that would really be about it. Next system goes far to the north, setting the table for a very sunny Sunday as well. So here comes your forecast for your Friday night. Clear, 55 degrees for the low temperature. Not expecting much in the wind category. Tomorrow, look for a high temperature of 81. We're calling it mostly sunny because we do expect a cloud or two, and that's really about it. 7-day forecast now. We'll keep it around 80 for Sunday and Monday. Back the temperature off a few degrees by the middle of next week. Next batch of clouds not expected in here till at least Wednesday, and more likely on Thursday. This is pretty normal October stuff, so it's the driest month of the year on average. So yesterday was a little unusual.
Every month's the driest month of the year this year, I think.
On average. It's been that way, definitely. Keep up with all your neighborhood weather, because I know you do so, Gary. Online at KLASTV.com, or you can call us. You know the number.
118.
That's right, 118. Give us a call.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay, thanks.
Well, he killed more than 200 cats, but his sentence is outraging the community. We will show you why.
And changes in how land in Nevada will be divided. See what that means to wilderness areas in southern Nevada.
And I'm Chris Matthews. As the baseball world gets set for the California showdown, the Rebels are getting ready for the Cougars. UNLV in Provo tonight. Rebels say the Cougars are trying to slow them down. Plus, nothing slowing down Andre Agassi's game. We'll show you his latest victim next in sports. Las Vegas Andre Agassi continues to roll through the Tennis Masters stop in Madrid this week, playing Juan Carlos Ferrero in the quarters. Ferraro in the far court comes up with a nice shot here, but check out Agassi, chases it down, and he wins the point. The semis, boy, an easy route, 6-3, 6-2 win. That's match point, the ace, and the win. Hey, remember when that 2-week wait between Super Bowl kind of kept you hanging? Well, thank goodness they don't have to wait any longer for the World Series, which swings into action tomorrow. Anaheim buzzing. They're making their first World Series appearance against the Giants. Former Twins Hall of Famer Kirby Puckett has been charged with felony and misdemeanor counts in an alleged sexual assault. Puckett is charged with 1 count of false imprisonment for dragging a woman into a bathroom and 1 count of 5th-degree criminal sexual conduct. Well, after losing at home, the Rebels now have a chance to steal one on the road. UNLV getting ready to meet the BYU Cougars. The last time UNLV beat BYU was in Provo. That was in '81. This is 2002. The Rebels would love to go back to the future.
Looking forward to getting a victory. We've done all the things that we needed to, well, not all of them, but almost all of them, and the last thing is getting a victory, so hopefully we can do that.
We noticed that the grass is kind of high right now, so obviously they realize that we do have some type of steam speed, but we definitely have to use that to our advantage.
We have to focus on winning the game. I think that's been our thing. Up to this point, you know, we've tried to correct this mental thing or that or something, and we're just going to focus really hard on saying, okay, here's what we do to win the game.
Well, the last time UNLV played in Provo, the Cougars won that game 10-7. Expect more scoring this year. That game right here on Channel 8 Saturday beginning at 4 o'clock. Those two ladies here on a recruiting trip are an indication the Lady Rebel basketball program is moving in the right direction. They're two of the top players in the country, and they're visiting UNLV.
Yes, sir. I think rankings just came out, and I was 19th in the nation.
In my state, I'm like number 6 or 7.
UNLV has a really nice facilities, really good program, really nice coaches. Coach Miller's really nice.
I like the facilities. The coaching staff, they real cool. Coach Turner, he's funny. I like him. Yeah. Coach Miller, she's nice.
All right, and speaking of Coach Miller, she was on the weakest link. Coming up in 25 minutes, we'll see how she did, if she was the weakest link.
We were rooting for her.
All right, thanks, Chris.
You bet. There is more news straight ahead on Channel 8 Eyewitness News Live at 6:30. Southern Nevada man who killed hundreds of cats learned his sentence. Find out why that sentence has outraged so many people.
Plus, changes in Nevada land could save some sensitive acres and keep home prices low. See how.
And in tonight's Eye on Entertainment, Valley legends take their magic to the kitchen. Kate Maddox will be here with that story.
You're watching Channel 8 Eyewitness News at 6:30 with Paula Francis, Gary Waddell, neighborhood weather with Kevin Janison, and sports with Chris Matthews. Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the news leader.
Thanks for staying with us. A man who pled no contest to charges he killed hundreds of cats has a new job working near animals.
His new employer is a veterinary clinic in Pahrump. Channel 8 Eyewitness News reporter Carol Wilkinson has the story.
43-year-old Sam O'Keen still works at a veterinary clinic, even after pleading no contest to charges that he illegally killed 210 cats and kittens during a 3-year period. How do you feel about keeping him in your employ?
Oh, he works good.
Dr. James Kelly says he has no problem in allowing O'Keene to work for him at the Quarter Horse Veterinary Clinic in Pahrump. What will you allow him to do?
He can help him.
What will he do physically? As he works for you, what will his job be?
I don't know, he worked for everything.
The terms of probation dictate that O'Keene can work as an office assistant at the clinic, but the Deputy Attorney General says his office will be keeping a close eye on Sam O'Keene.
That if Mr. O'Keene does any, and we do repeat, any acts with animals of any veterinary procedure, we will move for violation of probation, and we'll ask that he be sentenced to the full jail time.
O'Keene was sentenced to up to 3 years probation after authorities say he illegally euthanized the cats between 1998 and 2001. At the time, he worked for a no-kill cat sanctuary in Sloan. O'Keene isn't talking under advice from his attorney, but faces another court date on Tuesday on misdemeanor charges of cruelty to animals. Carol Wilkinson, Channel 8, Eyewitness News.
Congress has passed a sweeping bill to reshape federal land policy here in southern Nevada. The bill will set aside 440,000 acres of wilderness in 18 locations around Clark County. It will expand the Desert National Wildlife Range by 26,000 acres. The measure also frees 233,000 acres of federal land for public use and development. The deal was put together by Senators Harry Reid and John Ensign, along with Representative Jim Gibbons.
This is a balance of allowing some growth, which is nothing wrong with that, and allowing the people who live in southern Nevada to have places they can go that are secluded and nice, and they will preserve those places for me, my children, my children's children.
The measure was approved last night by a unanimous vote in the U.S. Senate. It passed the House late on Wednesday. Representative Gibbons says the president will sign that measure into law.
Your first chance to cast a ballot will be tomorrow when early voting starts for the November's election. This year's ballot is the biggest in Clark County history, which means voters will likely be taking more time at the polls. However, new touchscreen voting machines will be available, which are designed to be easier to use. Still, voting officials say the best way to avoid long lines may be to take advantage of early voting. Early voting runs through November 1st. You can vote at all the local shopping malls, the Las Vegas Athletic Club on West Sahara, and at the Clark County Government Center. For a complete list of early voting locations and times, as well as the issues and the candidates, just go to our website at KLASTV.com. Now, one of the races you may be voting for will be the newly created Congressional District 3. Clark County Commissioner Dario Herrera and State Senator John Porter are locked in a bitter campaign for the seat. You can see both of the candidates debate live here on Channel 8 Sunday evening starting at 5:30.
North Las Vegas could be getting a new hotel casino. City Council has approved a gaming enterprise district as part of the Aliente master plan community. The 40-acre site is at Simmons Street and the new Beltway. The new casino would go up next to the 7,500 homes planned for Aliente. Mandalay Bay Casino is suing a boxing promoter over a temporary tattoo. The casino says Henderson-based Millennium Events allowed a boxer to wear that tattoo, advertising an online casino. You see it there. Boxer Ben Tacky had a tattoo with the name and logo of wallstreet.com on his back. During a match in May, the resort says that violated an agreement forbidding such temporary tattoos.
The potential leaders of the future got a chance to brush up their skills today. Councilman Lawrence Weekly and the Reynaldo Martinez Institute for Leadership and Research sponsored the 4th Annual Hispanic Youth Congress today. The Congress objective is promoting the advancement and development of future Latino leaders. That's a goal this year's attendees appreciate.
All of this information is very useful because most of us teenagers are not very aware of many things in the community or what we can do, and by workshops like the workshops that we have now and all of these programs, they're very helpful for us.
This year's program features workshops on development, planning, and time management, and also includes a celebration of Hispanic writings and culture.
Well, you've seen him on television, you've seen him in the movies. Now Jay Moore is taking his stand-up comedy to Las Vegas audiences. Kate Maddox will talk with him a little later in this half hour.
Plus, we've had gorgeous weather in the valley today. Kevin shows us how long the fantastic forecast will last.
Television and movie actor is in town to try to make you laugh.
And two magicians make food appear on Food TV. Joining us with more is Kate Maddox.
We didn't know they cooked, Siegfried and Roy.
Yeah.
They've got some other talents. Wolfgang Puck is whipping up some treats with the help of lions, tigers, and Siegfried and Roy. But first, movie star and stand-up Jay Moore dropped by to tell us why he likes performing in the comic arena of Las Vegas. For comedian actor Jay Moore, playing Las Vegas is the best opportunity to find funny. For example, take his views on gambling.
Penny slots, jackpot, $2. Who's the man? Let's go buy some envelopes. I got $2. You just want to hang out with me because I hit the jackpot. $2 ago, you didn't want anything to do with me.
Or what he thinks about those ever-present flyer distributors on the Strip.
They're all porno things, those flyers. I didn't know that, so I take like 6 of them. I'm in the elevator with like a girl's like high school softball team. And they're like, what's in your hand? I'm like, oh, I have, oh, you're Jay Moore. No, I'm not.
Moore does his Vegas stand-up at the Paris Theater 3 times a year. He says it's a nice switch from acting, and Vegas crowds are among his favorites.
I think it's wonderful to have such an eclectic crowd. And comics that say the crowds are jaded, I say to those people that may fall into that category, then I got something for you. If you're jaded, well then come see my show.
Things were spooky from the moment I arrived.
Last week, celebrity chef Wolfgang Puck showed up at the door of old friends Siegfried and Roy to film a segment for his Food Network cooking show. As 3 lions looked on, Puck and his assistants
I washed my hands especially for that.
Whipped up fall treats like pumpkin risotto and Austrian goulash. That episode of Wolfgang Puck's shows airs on the Food Network tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. and throughout the next couple of weeks. And the very funny Jay Moore plays the Paris tonight, Saturday and Sunday at 9 p.m. Tickets are $50.
I don't think I want to be opening fresh food there around with those 3 tigers looking over your shoulder. That might be something.
They were chained right there to the back of the stage.
That's helpful. Jay Moore, what does he have coming up?
Well, his show More Sports got canceled on ESPN, but he didn't seem too upset. He's got a lot of films in the works. He's reading scripts. He likes doing TV. He loves doing stand-up. So he's got a big career going for him.
All right. Yeah, good luck to him. And we'll be right back.
The Cougars of BYU, the Rebels of UNLV. UNLV came close their last 2 meetings but couldn't pull off the upset. This year, the Rebels look to avenge the Cougars down to the wire victories. UNLV at BYU, Saturday at 4 on Channel 8. Chopper 8, your eye in the sky.
The roadways are filling up.
First with breaking news in southern Nevada.
A live picture from the scene.
Chopper 8 is on the scene, only on Channel 8, Eyewitness News, the news leader.
You.
All right. Time to talk to Kevin Janison now about the weather for the weekend and beyond. Right, Kevin?
Hey, Gary, absolutely. A very nice evening will begin on the Strip at Desert Passage, where it's 71 degrees and calm right now. The humidity at 22%. Out near Bonanza and Pecos at Child Haven, they're checking in at 72. Up near Jones and Smoke Ranch, a little cool over there, 66. Cool is a relative term. And over the south end of town, it is 74 degrees. Temperatures in other neighborhoods across the valley, a plethora of 75s in the middle of town. It is 72 up near Alta and Anasazi and 69 near DI in the Beltway. Far northwest and far northern parts of town checking in at 72. The mountains at 42 up in Rachel. It is 60 down in Sandy Valley, 64. And Searchlight has 66 degrees. Let me show you some of the high temperatures from around the west today. Phoenix topped out at 81, Salt Lake had 66, Albuquerque topped out at 63, while Reno pretty mild at 78 degrees, and up in Medford, Oregon, it was 74. You can see the cooler air diving down right through the Rocky Mountain states, and where cool meets warm right there. That's where we have the clash of air masses, and that's where the storms are firing up this afternoon. Some of these have been very strong in parts of West Texas and very heavy in parts of northeastern Texas, moving into Arkansas as well. Another line of strong storms approaching the Ohio Valley right here, back through parts of Illinois, northern Missouri, and northeastern Kansas. A little closer to home, one system pushes on out. The next system trying to spread a couple of high, thin clouds in our sky, not having a whole lot of luck as these clouds are stretching very thin. We do expect to have mostly clear skies here right through the weekend, although there could be 1 or 2 stray clouds tomorrow. Under a clear sky, look for a low temperature of 55 degrees tonight. Then tomorrow we're going to bounce back to 81. Some neighborhoods will make the mid-80s. Should be a pleasant Saturday, and we're calling it mostly sunny because of that renegade cloud that might make it into our sky. That was cloud singular. Out at the lake, look for a high temperature in the mid-80s tomorrow. The water is holding at 77, although you may find some coves where it might be a little warmer or a little cooler. And Mount Charleston will peak at 58. It's not the high, it's the low, 28, that really stands out. It's that time of year we're seeing those numbers get down below freezing. Here comes your 7-day forecast now, and we are looking for temperatures to pretty much be in a holding pattern into Monday before we see numbers get a little cooler by the middle of next week, and next grouping of clouds expected to arrive by maybe the middle of next week, maybe not till Thursday. Other than that, it'll be cloud-free or your money back.
And if you're new to the area, take advantage of it, because when it gets cold here, it gets cold fast.
You're just a wimp. Come on. It doesn't get cold here. It's relative. Our blood thins. And cold for us is like a high in the upper 40s.
Cold.
Put on a sweater. You'll be okay.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
Chris Matthews is here now. Is this a Mickey Mouse golf tournament or what?
That's a good one. I think it is. Tiger Woods, hey, he's playing where the kids have fun. Perhaps even more fun. It's the Disney Classic. It moves into the weekend. Tiger makes the cut, but David Duval does not. UNLV's Regina Miller also missed the cut. She just returned from taping of The Weakest Link. The TV star talks to Channel 8 next. Well, last week it was the Invensys Classic. This week it is the Disney Classic for all the right reasons. This is a popular stop on the PGA Tour. Dad golfs while Mom and the kids enjoy Disney World. David Tomzo, he has his own story to tell the family tonight. This doesn't happen very often. It is the double eagle. Tom's has the shot of the day, but he's not leading. That belongs to Chris DeMarco at 17 under. Pops it there. Tiger Woods is tied for 23rd. Following Millionaire came The Weakest Link. Rebel coach Regina Miller just returned from Los Angeles, where she was a guest on The Weakest Link. Question, was she the weakest link?
I went to the booth of shame, and I guess I had my 5 minutes of shame. And I talked about, it's not how you start the game, but it's how you finish. Yeah, because we always get, you know, heat from her. Yeah. And it's good to see someone else give it that heat. So it was real funny when I heard it.
That show is scheduled to air sometime this winter. Should be a lot of fun. Hey, it's going to be a busy, busy sports weekend, and hopefully with a few winners. Here is sports bettor Len Banker.
Hi, Channel 8 sports fans. Len Banker here. 7 colleges, 4 pros. Right, checkers? A lot of handicappers are going to have a good weekend. You ready, gang? Yeah. First of all, we like the Angels. The first game in the World Series. Also, colleges, Syracuse against West Virginia, Wisconsin over Ohio State, Oklahoma over Iowa State. That's one of the big games. UNLV plus 10 points against BYU. And gang, Dave McCann is doing a play-by-play. And if that UNLV loses, forget about blaming Coach Robinson or Thomas. We're going to blame Dave McCann. UNLV with the 10 points. Let's go with Stanford against Arizona. And how about Channel 8, 12:30, Mississippi plus 11 points against Alabama. Florida against Auburn. And the pros look real good, right, checkers? How about Seattle against St. Louis? Jacksonville over Baltimore. San Diego Chargers against Oakland. That's on Channel 8, 1 o'clock. San Diego against Oakland. Channel 8, 1 o'clock. Late Arizona against the Dallas Cowboys. And Monday, if we're still around, we're going to go with the Indianapolis Colts against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right, checkers? Hey, gang, let me tell you, my grandchild, he's in the 8th grade. He told me he was in a play. I says, really? What'd you play? He says, I played a married 25-year-old man. I says, you played a married 25-year-old man? I says, next time, let them give you a talking part.
Hey, Lem came through with a nice one, huh?
Yeah, that was good. A lot of sports going on this weekend.
Yeah, and of course, the big game, BYU taking on UNLV up there in Provo. Last year was 10-7. 2 years ago it was 10-7. Last year was 35-31. So the last 2 years, they've been real exciting games, and Dave's up there, and we'll have it all for you tomorrow night.
Live,
right.
what, 4 o'clock?
Live at 4 o'clock right here on Channel 8.
Opposite the World Series.
We'll be right back.
Only one town moves this fast. But here, the past can still rock the future. And no one knows the players and the politics better than investigative reporter George Knapp. Over 20 years of investigations, exclusive interviews, and one-of-a-kind storytelling. bringing you Las Vegas like no one else can. Investigative reporter George Knapp, only on Channel 8 Eyewitness News, the news leader.
Coming up tonight on Channel 8 Eyewitness News live at 11 o'clock, part of a major Las Vegas roadway is going to be closed down this weekend. We'll have all the details and tell you how to avoid all the trouble that's going to happen on US 95. And police have identified a body found in the desert, but there's an interesting twist. We'll have that, all the news, tonight at 11 o'clock. We hope you will join us.
For most of us, making a jack-o'-lantern for Halloween requires taking stuff away from the pumpkin. But for one woman from Oregon, a jack-o'-lantern includes adding to the pumpkin. Kathy Boyer could be called a makeup artist for gourds. Boyer uses clay, paint, fur, and whatever else she can find to make potentially perfect pumpkins. She started selling the pumpkins out of the back of her car, but now she takes a lot of orders.
Okay. In order to increase voter education and participation, KLAS TV is providing free airtime to qualified candidates in the congressional races.
Tonight we hear from the candidates.
All right, we'll see you at 11.